blowing up. And he's been getting a whole bunch of opportunities. He's now boxing. He's been on certain podcast interviews. He's even made some rap songs.
Rapping? He be rapping? Capitalized. He done did it.
And because of his clout, so to speak, it's gotten him a lot of favor. But as you know, clout is, well, yeah, it kind of runs out. And so once you're hot and you have reality shows behind you, it's all good. But when you're Aaron the Plumber and you don't really create your own content, let me give you an example of what I mean. Like, let's look at Charleston White. Charleston White creates his own content every now and then, but he's always booked for podcasts. And don't get me wrong, Aaron the Plumber is entertaining too, but you know, he's not going to be as entertaining as Charleston White. And so when Aaron the Plumber is not, you know, catching a fade or doing whatever he's doing, he's pretty much on his TikTok page working out or just making small skits that don't really bring a whole lot of attention to him. And that's the issue with Aaron the Plumber as a content creator or social media influencer. He's not creating content for people, so therefore the demand for his services are kind of low if he's not getting it somebody, beefing somebody, or on a reality show.
He's right, you know.
And so that brought us to this point here.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, in a real way. It's your Bradesky, Aaron the Plumber. I'm out here for the fade tour on Mama's hands to run a fade with me. Who need that in a real way? Everybody that was speaking on me too, man. Hey, come hoop. On Mama's, I'm out. Sorry, but that's.
When did
He said, I'm out. Now that's really, really wild. Super wild. Not sure how he had his. Oh yeah. I believe he was a social media sensation. He went viral from Facebook, and from there he was offered a situation with the Zeus Network, where they had this basically the baddies situation, something like that. I never watched his segment on Zeus. I started watching that stuff a little later on, and come to find out, the Zeus Network, they was on some old fishy activity. They was on some old pledge and Greek type stuff. And if you don't know what that means, look it up. And I'll give you an example as far as sororities and stuff like that. Basically, what they do is they worship pagan gods. And they also gave him a different name, which was Aaron the Plumber, the Piper, or something like that, which was the guy who led children to their death in the Greek mythology. He exposed that situation. He said he wasn't with it. He said a lot of different things conspired from him not signing that contract. My thing about this and why I'm bringing this up is for an awareness video, so entertainment purposes as well, and allegedly they wanted him to be sacrificed. You know how this thing go. You got to make sacrifices to stay on top. You got to comply to the rules and regulations that they set for. Clout, social media sensations, viral moments, it don't last long, especially if you're not in position, you're not putting yourself in position, you don't have a real direction on where you're headed with your motivation, the reason why you want to be viral, the reason why you want to be a content creator. A lot of people be out here putting themselves in the worst situations, the worst position. Meaning they get on here full of attention, and the attention they get might not be the attention that they want to hold on to, or might not be the attention that labels them and sets them in a direction that they want to be labeled in and headed in. As far as Aaron the Plumber, he started switching up his image a little bit. But nevertheless, he was already stuck in that image, stuck in that set category of, oh, he's a rowdy fighter and woo, right? The title has been set on this man. And once he realized there's no way around fame, there's no way around the spotlight, it's no way that your pure talent to get you where you want to be in life. It just is what it is. A lot of people be influenced by these content creators, these TV and reality TV actors and actresses, because that's what they do. They act. They're not really sharing their real lives, their ups, their downs. They're entertaining you all. And some people get so wrapped up in entertainment They don't have any discernment on what's real and what's purely entertainment, pure acting for you guys' amusement. Long story short, he's not falling off, so they say. I haven't heard him doing anything, seen him doing anything. And the reason for that is because, like I believe he finally came to a realization that you're either going to work with these people or you're going to be just like the rest of us, barely maintaining or just maintaining to survive, living in survival mode or just thriving, right? Accepting what it is in life, accepting that I have a peace of mind, I have all of the things that I need, I have my daily bread. I'm not consumed with consumerism, running up to put myself in positions to be viral, not being authentic, and now I'm stuck in a character mode that's not pleasing to me or edifying my spirit, uplifting me, motivating me and bringing me higher in consciousness, being able to do things that truly impact people in a positive way. Now, that's one situation on how people put themselves out for attention. That's one way that's no way is safe, but I want to share a light and shed a light on another way. For the Instagram, this was about TikTok, but it's about all social medias. Actually, I put TikTok because it was already a pre-written title, whatever. Right? I feel lazy today. um, it be your own people that do it to you. Meaning, you'd be surprised who's up in these cults, who's a part of these situations, who's out here seeking souls to corrupt. A lot of y'all see a lot of these Instagram models, they taking these trips to Dubai. And I know y'all probably heard about the porta potty situation, all this, all that, right? And a lot of people may not have. A lot of you probably might not be aware of what they've been doing, how some of them even actually got there. And also the reason why they be there. It's not all because, they want to take trips or whatever, but some of this stuff be because they're putting themselves out the explicit way. Hold on real quick. Some of them putting themselves out there in an explicit way, and they're putting themselves out there to be predators. I'm going to show you guys exactly how this stuff be going on right after I share this positive word for today of December the 4th, 2025. My thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways and thoughts higher than yours. Remember who I am when you spend time with me. Marvel at the wonder of being able to communicate with the King of the universe at any time, any place. Never take this amazing privilege for granted. Though I am vastly higher and greater than you, I am training you to think my thoughts, renewing your mind as you spend time with me in my presence. My thoughts gradually form your mind. My spirit is the director of this process. Sometimes he brings Bible verses to mind. Sometimes he enables you to hear me speak directly to you. These communications strengthen you and prepare you for whatever is before you on your life path. Take time to listen to my voice. Though your sacrifice of precious time, I bless you far more than you dare to ask. And this word was inspired by the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8 through 9. This is me spending time with Christ. This is how I do so. Some of these verses I already know, and some of these I go look up right afterwards. But nevertheless, this reading was also inspired by the book of Colossians, chapter 4, verse 2, and last but never the least, the book of Psalms, chapter 116, verse 17. Here's the word for today for the readers and the hearers and doers of his word. Renewing of the mind is how you see things through Christ's light. Able to have another point of view, a different perspective, a new vantage point to see life as for what it is and be able to have discernment to move forward. I often have a moment, meaning I'll cry or feel low or whatever, right? Unsatisfied, unhappy. I have those moments where I'm lost, seeking direction. I have to ask God, lead me and guide me to who I am to be and who I am to become. Show me what's next. I have dreams and goals, but nevertheless, some of these things aren't good for me. You know, not all desires are the things that's going to fulfill you in life. You desire to have some reefer. That doesn't mean that it's going to better your health. You could desire to have sweets, candies, chocolates. That doesn't mean that these desires are going to better your health. Some people have that C word. You know what I mean? The answer. All of these man-made things, right? We find out about Campbell's soup, geo-engineered modified food, GMO. They're not even putting it on products anymore. They're just putting it out there, which is crazy, right? And they say don't eat the chicken. Something's in the chicken. I know y'all seen Clone Tyrone. Um, Now all of a sudden, McDonald's and Burger King got this enticing meals, Happy Meals at that. Grown folks with no mind running straight to it. All of these kids are missing. All of these people are missing, and now these restaurants coming out with new recipes and new enticing things for you all to consume. Hospital bills are going to go up. It's just wild, you know, the way that people be so entertained with what's next and following behind the crowd. Want to be a content creator, which is nothing wrong. Wanting to be famous, and one thing about being famous, you could be famous and not rich, and you could be rich and not famous, right? So those two things are totally different things. You'll see a lot of entertainers, and you'll wonder like, why they out here doing this type of stuff? Because they're famous, but they're not rich. They have nice things that they just have nice things. A lot of people have nice things. That doesn't mean that they have money in their pockets to be able to maintain that lifestyle. I heard this from somebody. This was somebody in the industry where somebody who was signed a contract with the music industry, right? This is how they do people. This is how people become broke. So let's just go back 10 years because everything transforms within a decade. Every 10 years is a new wave. It's a new energy in the world, a new consciousness. So this conscious of the world was back then where everybody was starting to get debit cards. Before then, we all used cash, and that was just what it was. We all had money clips and stuff like that, right? Because we didn't have digital currency. So that was the new wave, pushing debit cards. First was like Rush. I forgot what Green Dot and stuff like that, right? Of course, you have Cash App and all this stuff now, but I'm talking about the beginning of this. And I'm quite older, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my later 30s. But anyway, right? This was the move. This was the transition. And basically, people started using credit, is what I'm really getting at, right? You had certain cards was prepaid debit cards. Now all of a sudden they was pushing out credit cards. I'm not sure if they had credit cards before then or not, but I wasn't really into it. But as far as this new digital currency having debit cards, prepaid debit cards, reloadable cards, this was getting people in that mode and conditioning the people to start using cards. You start getting paid cards. They stop doing checks. They still do from time to time, but whatever, right? You get a pay card. And then sometimes what the thing was about the pay cards was you never able to get all of your money off. You never be able to get all of your money. So people was like, man, I'm getting paid through these cards, but it's not the same as it was with a check. Bank accounts was always around, stuff like that, right? But people rarely use banks, and the banks started getting smarter because you could go to a bank with whatever that name's on that check and cash your check for free. That's what I used to do. I'm so familiar with checks. But anyway, I'm so familiar with receiving money and sending money and all this and that, right? I study finances. That's what I'm interested in. As a private personal consultant, I help people with businesses elevate, set up strategies to move forward and elevate your business. Your solopreneurs, your nonprofits, whatever the case may be, live mentorship. So that's what that's about. If you guys want to start your own online business from launch to profit in 7 days, that's what this blueprint is about. Pay as you go, earn as you learn, earn while you learn. Tap into our community, Legacy Builders program. If you guys ready to build your own legacy in this year with a strong finish, that's what this is about. But anyway, right? So back to the transition, the black card, the gold card, the platinum card. The black card is what all of these rappers was promoting. They was like, it's unlimited, right? That's how you know people got some funds when they pull out that black card. In the condition of people who wasn't in that position, they came out with the black rush card, you know, to get you in that mindset to spin, spin, spin. But what they didn't tell people was, and of course you all already know, once you sign a contract, you get an advancement, maybe a mil, 2 mil. Okay, that's cool. That sounds good. That should be enough to maintain and manage for a bit or to put yourself in position. But nevertheless, what happened is, as soon as they get this contract signed, they sign it. Everybody want to spend money. Why not? I mean, it is what it is. What they'll do is, and this is my interpretation on how they do it, but this is what they do, and I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but I think this is how they do it. He didn't go into details on how they do it, but he said this is what they do. There, as soon as you sign your deal, you get your advancement or whatever, right? And they're like, "Oh no, don't spend your money, but we finna take you." They'll take you shopping somewhere really nice, or overseas, or somewhere where they got the high end merchandise, probably like California, New York, right? They'll take you shopping, like, yeah, we finna go do photo shoots, woo, 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 all of this. We finna get your image together. We finna go shopping. As far as the A&Rs and their producers and whoever, right? Whoever their team is, their conglomerate, who's molding and coaching this new artist, this new talent. Once they go shopping, they be like, oh, I forgot to tell you, hold on, you don't got to spend your own money. Here go the black card. Get whatever you want. It's unlimited. With that being said, a lot of these artists, they're young. They look old like me, right? Old. But some of them look like me and they be very young. They be 18, 19, even younger than that, like Aaliyah. She was 14, 15 when she came in the industry. A lot of these other people in the industry came in the similar age. They were very young, very unexperienced, no financial literacy, never had financial freedom. And with that being said in their mind, and when they do go, they stay intoxicated. They stay off of all these type of drugs. They be disoriented because they be tired. They ripping and running, just like how people do when they sign over their souls to these Greeks, to these pledges, to these fraternities, sororities, and everything else, right, etc. These people don't be in their right mind when they're doing this stuff. That's why God has to intervene and remind them, like, you put a pledge to basically serve this person, and I need to break you free because you're mine. And if you know you desire to be free, here you go. And that's why you see people on YouTube or across the social media apps right now exposing these occults, letting people know exactly what happened, telling them to go back and read their little books, their little, you know what I'm saying, whatever books that they received when they join these things. But anyway, right, so they all having fun, spending this black card, doing features, paying for studio time and all of this and all of that. And then once they start getting exhausted, the label lets them know and they remind them, like, yeah, it's time to start paying that money back. So all of this money that you might have had in advance, you now owe that 2 million because you didn't spend 2 million on shopping sprees and taking care of things and whatever, right? And the thing about that is they making hits, singles after hits after hits, but those hits are only being producing money to pay back the label, to pay back the company, to pay back that card. And a lot of these people, you'll see them year in after year, and they just be doing this stuff and keep doing this stuff because they're trying to get out of debt. You hear a lot of people say, I paid myself out of my contract. That's what they're really talking about. Like, I paid myself out of debt. The label then basically put me in so much debt that I can't afford to do anything. So now I'm working for free. That's how they sell out. And they do anything to stay in their position. They do anything for a bag. You seen YK Osiris, he's singing to Drake for $60,000 debt to be paid off. And not every artist goes this route as far as not having financial stability, not having financial intelligence, knowing how to get up out this situation. Just like Mario, you don't hear him out here broken doing all this stuff, or Sammy, or Lil Flip. You know what I'm saying? People like that who had a little bit more intelligence and also who didn't want to partake and participate with this new wave that this industry was heading in. They didn't want to sign out, so they signed out. They didn't want to sign off, so they signed out the game. People didn't hear about them no more. Then new people came in who was already with the ish, like T.I., uh, Gucci Mane, and all of these other artists you see today, right? The ones that you question on if this really them or if they're doing some fishy things, right? But nevertheless, this whole generation, this whole mindset, this whole wave pushed forward 10 years later to what it is today, where people now just realizing like, oh, it's no such thing as designers. But people was chasing after designers. They was realizing like this industry seems dark and demonic because it is and it has been and it was. L.A. Reid, you hear about him a lot. You hear about a lot of these people, and it's all allegedly, right? That they was, fondling people and doing different stuff in the Def Jam offices. Your favorite rapper was a little fruitcake. But anyway, with that whole image, that mindset, it started pushing on to the youth. The youth want to be social media influencers. They're out here doing anything for attention. And this is the dangers of doing so. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And also how you do things determine on if they see you or not, if they want to push your content or not. It's not about if you got good content or not. It's who they want to push, who they put into the spotlight so that these people could come check you out and put you in the elevation to offer you a situation to elevate you. And this is the dangers of that. This is what they're offering people. This is what they're doing to people who put themselves out there in a way that's, not so cool. And this is a warning for you ladies because this is who they target and this is what it's about. This about that, check it out.
Flew out to Dubai.
This is a problem globally.
Men promising them a better money, stability. But what they really imagined were tricked into illegal prostitution. Men allegedly paying to defecate on them.
For years,
This ain't something a normal human being, rather a
Media calling it Dubai porta potty.
by far, has been the most difficult investigation of my career.
A secret industry this being.
And this the Shade Room, in case y'all wondering who this content coming from. Big shout out to the Shade Room. Late last year, or mid last, somewhere around last year, sometime. And it was shocking to me. This girl Sukiyani, Suki, I don't know how to say her name. I don't really keep up with these motherfucking people, the weird ass names and all this and that, right? 6ix9ine called himself trying to expose her, talking about, oh, they be on the avenue selling themselves for blunt wraps and AFI or 3-5, basically, right? And she said this out her own mouth. I'm like, damn. It's sad, when you realize, like, oh, okay, a lot of this stuff ain't just somebody hating on somebody else, or, conspiracy. It's how these people really living. And they be so doped out and so miserable that they don't really care about how they're going about their things. That's why they live out in the hills where people don't see them all the time, or they be out somewhere in these little places that we barely go to. And he's not exempt from what he be doing as well with the little fishy stuff he got going on. She put his information out there, but everybody in this industry does these things. And you wonder, like, why? Because they took that black card, they went and bought all of the nice stuff that they have so they could stun on you. But in the meantime, in the actual reality, these people are in debt. That's why they're going out here doing all of these shows. They're basically working for free until they can pay themselves out of their debt. And do don't look at the map from from time to time. So there is a thing called the Middle East. Basically, this is Africa, where Africa connects to Asia. And it's basically Okay, from where Egypt is, across from Egypt is like Jordan, and, Iraq and Iran, kind of up to the top, but below that is the Emirates. I think it's called the Emerald Emirates or something like that, right? But basically, this is where Dubai. They're part of a little conglomerate. They're part of a union, sort of say. And under that, they're like basically off to the coast. They're like off to the water, right? Let me show you guys exactly where they at. Can you see? All right, yeah. Let me show you where Dubai is. So they is the Arab Emirates, the United Emirates. I disrespect. I ain't been over there. I'm planning on going. So like they off of the water, right? As you call it, this water. They basically like a big ass. They off the lake, right before you get to India and all of that. So we're gonna show y'all like so to the left and all of that, and to the is where you start going into India, Asia, and all of that. The Philippines and stuff like that. So they like off the lake right here. Like this is Dubai, right here, lake, and of course all of this where the land connects. This all Asia and stuff like that. But this is considered the Middle East, Afghanistan and all this and that, Pakistan, whatever, right? Saudi Arabia, Iraq, like I was telling, Yemen, and then if you keep going over, like I was saying, Jordan, Israel. This is considered the Middle East. It's like Africa and Asia connect. Egypt is last, whatever. It's considered the last country in Africa, and then where this land connects, this is the Middle East, which is considered Syria, Iraq, Iran, and all of these things. And like I was saying, it's Pakistan. So people, they go over here to area right there off of the lake. They have really nice stuff though, you know what I mean? Everything around here has really nice stuff. All of these are safaris and things which are in Malaysia, the Mayan ruins. Yeah, Thailand and Malaysia. And hold on. Like Bangladesh. I think they're in Bangladesh where they have. No, actually, it's in West Bengal, which is the city over to Bangladesh. It's a part of Bangladesh, but it's West Bangladesh, like West Bengal. They have the mother, her house where she stayed at, the same Mother Teresa, and also her burial site. So it's a lot of artifacts and historical sites and stuff like that that people love to go check out. Go straight to the Middle East for the nicest stuff right here, Dubai. That little strip right there. They also have a lot of stuff in Thailand. They got resorts, a really, really nice stuff. Sri Lanka. But yeah, that's enough of that. So these where these people are going to. They promised them, like, yeah, you want to go take a trip? Come on, woo. And for some of them, They just on here showing their body all the time, shaking their ass, and people like, hey, the algorithm gonna push you. You need a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying? You want to make some more money, and they wrapped up in that lifestyle. They go out here, they never come back home. Some of them do, some of them don't. If they not with the shits, right? You see how two of them they went with the shits, and they all of a sudden allegedly jumped off of the building, intoxicated. Like I was saying, they keep them so intoxicated. She bulls, right? Any 20-year-old is still trying to find their way. At 20 to 25, people not even really mentally fully developed yet. You know, females mature quicker, but for a guy, even some females, that doesn't mean that that's law for everybody. Some people be growing into their second childhood at that time. They never grow up. They never wisen up. You know, they never fully have a fully developed brain because they're stuck in childish ways. As a child, people should think as a child, act like a child, and behave like one. But as you become older and an adult, those childish things should be put away. And for some people, they never get put away and they get caught up in lifestyles like this, which is a dangerous, dangerous thing to chase after. Young 23-year-old, you know, people want to travel as well. What youngster, what human being on earth don't want to go see anything, right? It's common desire for human man. I mean, humankind. This is the way that they do it, right? They'll be like, yeah, you want to go, we're going to push out your videos. You happy off a few likes, off a few clicks. We're going to send a few bots to make you think you got a following. Because this is what rappers and entertainers do. You think they video went viral. They didn't pay some of these robots to come watch it and to comment. Just like you heard Young Thug exposing the way that he was doing it for Gunna and for himself, for likes, views, for, you know, the image. These people hard work doesn't really pay off. It's the automation system that's in place, which I be trying to teach you guys and help you guys learn how to generate prompts, use Chat GBT for your advantage. I just put out a white paper or my memoir on what I got going on and coming up with Team Angie as far as our Team Angie tokens. You want to check that out. I got a business page and a educational page, business page, Team Angie LLC on Facebook. Also, you can subscribe for exclusive content. And the educational page is my Forex traders. If you guys looking to learn the markets and make money through stocks and cryptos, ETFs, and etc. And they mix. It don't matter where you from, the states, overseas, they're targeting people allegedly see her on social media, hop in her DMs, promise her this, promise her that, and when she get over there, stuck over there. Participate or don't ever make it back, basically. And yeah, you even got to be careful if you're going on your own accord. There's a lot of signs and symbols for trafficking, allegedly, right? If you ever in the parking lot, ladies, by yourself, and you come out to your car or whatever, or you going out somewhere and you see your windshield wipers up, make sure that you leave them up and you go somewhere safe where you can put them back down, because usually what that means is they waiting on you to hop right out your car, come snatch you up when you try to put your windshield wipers down. I saw a video of that. I didn't even know these type of things to be happening, but I guess it's the windshield wipers. Even some people put flowers, money, or whatever, right? And the whole reason for that, and I believe that this is the reason why they do it. They want you to get out your car because they're watching. They seen you go in the store or whatever you went to by yourself, and they put some on your window. They're hiding behind the car next to your car or on the car side or whatever, right? They close by and they're ready to come snatch you up and throw you in somebody else's car and pull off right afterwards. This stuff be happening in broad daylight, the middle of the night, any time of day. You got to be vigilant out here when you out and about. Stay on your P's and Q's, and if something seems fishy, trust your gut, trust your instincts. Some seems off, don't go investigating right then and there. You go somewhere safe, start trying to figure stuff out. But yeah, that's a warning sign. Be careful who running in your DMs, promising you this, promising you that. A lot of females are so took away by money, so it's easily for them to get captured and to never be seen again. But I'm warning you all to be vigilant, have discernment. Don't keep your eyes bigger than your morals and values, right? Have some type of value. Therefore, people can't easily entice you to corrupt your mind and control you. These women will never be seen again. And of course, over there, they're not going to put this stuff on the news. Prime example, like Korea, right? We don't know what's going on over there. They got so much restrictions and so much control over the people, over the land. We don't know what's going on. We don't even know if we could get over there. I don't want to go. But I'm just saying, that's the type of stuff going on. We don't know what's going on in other countries and other states or whatever, right? And it's a reason for that. They don't want you to know. They want you to be a part of the system, the belly of the beast that everybody's getting trapped in. These miserable entertainers who are sitting here and lying to you all, thinking that this is the easy route. If it was so easy, everybody in the world will go create and be a content creator, right? Like anything and everything, it's a hustle. You got to be motivated, determined. You got to have something you're striving for. Like I said, it's the vision that keeps you going. When you don't get any likes, you don't get any views, and you're just putting out that information. It's a constant learning process. Everybody has their time. Sometimes it's just not your time. And for you to be impatient, the devil will give you something. The devil blesses people as well. His blessings don't last. But when God gives you something, it's something that you will be able to maintain, be able to handle, and it'll be something that'll be a blessing to you and to others. It's something that's going to last through the test of time. But I'm going to play a little bit more of this today. We're going to be done with that, just so you guys can know what's really going on out here. And this is the lady who investigated the situation, the way that she had to even put herself in position to expose some of this information, because this is what's happening to this day in many different other places as well. Dubai isn't the only place where people playing with money. It's just one of the places that people finally starting to know about. document. He probably at the DMV or got somebody at the DMV. They sending these people up and taking their stuff, switching it up. It's not just one person. This is a fully organized crime ring. This guy isn't coming out the back of his mind with these stuff. These are official passports. You ain't your passport, but yellow fever card, COVID certificates, and many more. A lot of people never even traveled before, so this would be a nice, enticing way to get somebody to be like, all right, let me get one of them passports, especially from somebody in Africa. The lady in Uganda, this is a way that he got her to come and get work overseas, abroad, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Africa, India, South Asia. The land masses are beautiful. It's like a summer getaway. These places have so many historical sites, artifacts. It would be nice to go there and create content.
Like this to live in.
Houses, bag, everything was so short. I'm a kid. This was like
50 girls living there.
Libra run she was one of them wrapped in this lifestyle. Benjami's brother says that he was told that she fell off of a balcony, and police told him back then drugs at the time. But he says toxicology report later said otherwise.
I mean, they got the hospitals and people who know their family, man. They're not only hurting the victims, but they hurting families, hurting friends. For people who get caught up in this lifestyle, not even people who want to be a part of it, but people looking for a quick come up, for a little bit of fame, notoriety. These are the dangers that comes with that. I mean, boys as well, man. There's no exemption. Young boys get found all of the time, or they always end up missing. Brookfield, Wisconsin, a young boy was found at a golf course. There's a lot of stuff going on. You gotta really, really be mindful of the people you interact with, people that want to interact with you. You gotta have discernment and pray for peace. Even when you go to sleep, pray to God to protect your mind, so you can have restoration. You can be restored when you get up. You can be able to have a little discernment of these type of traps that's always around. They're always enticing us to go the easy route, but the road to hell is wide. The path to heaven is narrow. It's not an easy choice to choose each day, to be holy, to be different from the world, even when the world is advancing as quickly as you could blink. That's what it means by picking up your cross and following me. It just means on the daily you're going to choose to follow the mind of Christ, like we read today. It's the renewing of the mind. This training requires spending time in his presence. I am training you to think my thoughts as you spend time in my presence. My thoughts gradually form in your mind. My spirit is the director of this process. And that's dope. So yeah, the only way to have consciousness, Christ consciousness, is to spend time with Christ, getting to know his mindset and his ways. The reason why we don't choose Christ is because Christ challenges us to be different. It's hard to be different in this world that offers everything that we desire.
Mwesigwa, also known as Abby, the man Kayla's family were told was her landlord. And Abby, the man
This man, Troy, who says that he worked as a driver for Charles, the night Monica died, Mwesigwa called him.
The only thing that could stop Abby.
This woman, whose identity is also being protected, says that she was close with Monica and knew that she was being forced to do things that she did not want to do, like have sex with men in Dubai.
A client, he poops on dolls, he poops and he tells them to eat it. Forcing someone to do that kind eat for, he does it. Okay, yeah, but money had class. She would refuse.
When you say significant amounts of money, what are we talking about?
woman told that she was offered £15,000. So I think that'd be a little bit more than $15,000.
Were these men only asking black women to?
We can't say that this isn't involving other women from other. These are the ones who we investigated and that we spoke to and who were brave enough to speak to us. It's likely that this is happening far beyond just African community and women.
It was too risky for Selena to confront Mwesigwa herself, but she did be different ways.
I see videos on the account on social media of men who seem to work for Mr. Mwesigwa. They pose in the same locations time and time again. So I'm looking for clues in these videos to identify where they may have been taken. And I'm cross-referencing with Google Maps and with property websites in Dubai to try and identify the exact locations.
This is the man in question, the man in that photo, the man on WhatsApp. the man who's snatching up these females. And look how he care about them. Look what he about to say.
I need to say.
They basically show how he sees women as objects and they whatever, right?
Do whatever.
He got 25 girls, and this just like a little handful. The dude said he want 20 of them, and he finna show them 25. So they do whatever. All right, that was $1,000. So they start at 1,000 and they go up.
Was on a business trip there, but he kept changing his location, eventually leading them to the airport last minute. He said he was flying out.
He led you on a wild goose chase, trying to find him in London.
This is one of the most frustrating elements of what we do. Naturally, you hear so much about someone, you want to see them face to face, you want to look them in their eye and ask questions them. So that was perhaps one of the biggest disappointments, not being able to see in person.
She said, at least.
Mr. Messenger?
He basically know that she on his heels. She keep on reaching out, and he found out she was successful by sending the dude. He realized like, oh, dude probably came through her or whatever, because they're not stupid. They've been doing this for however long, and they getting better at it and more secure in it, whatever, right? That's what I just see. I peep from, I think, what's going on with the situation, why he started getting cold feet, and dude never got the girls, of course, because you would have seen the transaction or whatever happened. And also how when they were supposed to meet, he ran them around the whole city of London or whatever, because I'm pretty sure he like come to this location and he already got people following the cars, looking out. They probably didn't even know that he had them telling what car they in, and they already, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, because it's always a bigger picture. It's chess, meaning you got to really examine it, you got to really put plays together. And it's not about just jumping in, you know what I'm saying, becoming king. It's about strategically trapping this other side to where they can't move, they can't do anything, it's over with. Even if they wanted to, it's nothing that can happen. So this is what dude was doing. There's nothing that can happen to where you're going to see me and catch me. We're finna do this transaction. That's why they had the runarounds. And then eventually he got on the phone with her because he like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm basically letting you know, like, you're wasting your time. You're not finna infiltrate what I got going on. I know you're not one of the peoples who I be dealing with. And this is what's gonna happen when she get on the phone with him. And then we're gonna be into this.
We have evidence that you're operating. Oh, he's gone.
He admits them, right?
Yeah, I mean, his at least as we show it in the documentary, that he knew them. However, he denies being a landlord. He denies hosting them or them working for him, and he denies all our key allegations who alleged violence. Those include women who die and ultimately ended up in him.
In a statement, Musigwa later wrote, quote, her passport, no one was demanding her money for taking her. Prior to her 4 to 5 weeks, I knew both girls, and they were renting with different landlords. If both flats was arrested or any of the landlords, then there's no reason. Both incidents were investigated by police, and maybe they can help you.
We did approach the UAE for statement about the allegations that these cases are not being into accurately in polling. They didn't respond to any of our allegations.
That was in September.
We were told since then, in the UAE then, however, we've heard that he has, we do not know at this where he currently is.
What was the biggest takeaway that you think you want viewers to take home?
I would really like to stress that this is a problem globally. I mean, I've had so many messages from people from Eastern Europe, to the US, to the whole world is saying, this is a problem in my community, this happened to me, this, and often exploits.
A missing piece to all of this.
Man, that's dope. But yeah, main key piece is awareness, right? That's all this video is about, is awareness. Like, we all want to shine, we all want our turn, but we all gotta wait our time. And we all gotta maintain our position, meaning you gotta be mindful of how you put yourself out there, how you display yourself. Some stuff is just really unnecessary, you know. And you draw the wrong type of attention. And that type of attention gets you in situations like that. It opens the door for things like this to happen. I mean, it's happening regardless, but as far as happening to you, is what I'm saying. So yeah, protect yourself. Peace and blessings from Team Magic.